Hi, everyone. My name is Martin Mavetsky. I'm an investment director at Flashpoint. And this is the pitching track for developer tools. Hi, Vitaly. And so I would like to start with sort of a round of introduction among the VCs. So let me maybe start with Maciej, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Maciej. I'm a partner at Inovo Venture Partners. We are a Warsaw-based early stage fund investing in technology in Central and Eastern Europe. And I'm covering our DevTool investments with particular interest in cloud infrastructure, cybersecurity, quality assurance, this kind of stuff.
Perfect. And next one is Premysl. Can you do a round of intro?
Hi everyone, Premysl. My background is in mathematics and numerical optimization. I've been developing for a while now, for 6 years, found and running Presto Ventures, which is a Prague-based VC fund, investing early on into software B2B startups, mostly CEE, mostly software, and like we like data, we like cybersec, we like both vertical and horizontal SaaS. So pretty much generic. But the background of the partnership is basically a lot into development and data.
All right, sounds good. So next one is Omri.
So hi everybody. Yeah, thank you. Omri, partner in Dell Technologies Capital. We are a team of investor and platform professional who bring decades of experience as investor, based in Silicon Valley, Boston, and Israel. We make early stage investment in enterprise infrastructure, fundamental technologies, basically like data, DevOps, cyber. We already put more than $1.2 billion to work in the last 10 years. Very active. Did well so far. I invested in the past in M0, DeepChecks, Common Ground, and many more. Great to be here.
Yes, welcome. Next one is Vitaly. You're on mute, Vitaly. You're still on mute. Anyway, maybe until Vitaly rejoins, I think we have like one more person that we're waiting for. But in the meantime, I would like to just mention that we have several exciting startups coming and sort of presenting today. We have Dimitro from Huntley, we have Michael from InsightCat, we have Philip from FlatLogic, Marek from RevDevBug, Adam from Orphanik, and Kirill from Monosnap. So these are the companies that will present today. I don't know, Vitaly, did you manage to fix your audio by any chance? Or we're just going to communicate with hand signs then. That's fine. Anyway, you only need to vote at the end, so that can help. And if in the meantime, if you can fix your connection, then it would be great. If not, then we can just communicate over the chat, which exists on the sort of right-hand side of the window. All right, so calling Dimitro, who's the first one on my list from Huntley. I don't know if Dimitro is here. I don't see. I don't see him. All right, so then maybe starting with the ones that are here. So starting with Marek. Marek, do you want to do your presentation? And so just talking a little bit about the rules. So we have like 3 minutes for the pitch and then 2 minutes for Q&A. So please try to fit into that time. I'll remind you. Can you share your presentation and then
Yes, I will try to share my presentation, but one for clarification, we are together with Adam Szewski, who is the CTO, and I believe that he will support me in the question and answers session. Okay, let me start. Let me try to share my screen.
Hi everybody. Sorry for the delay.
Can you see it?
I don't think so. I don't know about the others. I don't think we can see it.
Not yet.
Wait a minute. I will check it. That means that we've got a problem. Okay. Can you do it? Can you do it?
Yes, I'll share the screen. Hopefully you can see the screen. Can you see the screen?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
sorry,
all right.
guys.
Technical stuff. It
that
happens to the
means
best of us. So, floor is all yours. Happy to hear what you have for us, and the timer starts now.
Okay, guys. So the word is eaten by software, but not afraid you can save it together with RevDebug. I'm Marek Szmigiel. I'm CEO of the RevDebug. Next slide, please. What do we mean? What do I mean that the word is eaten by software? That means that software is everywhere. You can grab your phone and you will find in there that there is more than 100 applications. And obviously, these all applications should be prepared, should be developed by software developers. And let's put the controversial statement. Lots of people say that software developers are actually not human. It is not true. They are human, and it is not good that they are human, because since they are human, we cannot expect that imperfect creature can create perfect software. That means that we have to deal every day with problem with the bugs in the software. Next slide, please. And we all know that programmers now are the most valuable, most difficult to find human resources in the world, and that situation will not be better, but worse. Next slide, please. Okay, then now let's imagine how developers' job looks like today. Developers have to deal with problems with software, and they have to now, before they use RevDebug solution, they have to do it this way you can see on the slide. They have to figure out what could be the root of the problem, because it's like in basic logic. We don't see the root, the connection between the line in the code and the result with the problem with software. That's why for now we do it like you can see on this slide. They have to figure out what could happen. They have to try whether the hypothesis is okay or not, and they spend even 50 time of their job for seeking for root of the problem with the software. Next slide, please. Till now, because we can solve it with our solution, we can record the code and we can replay it. That means that we can save the word, because we can save the money, we can save the time of the software developers. Just imagine how much money they earn every year. Just imagine how much money we can get as a company to solve the problem with this.
Okay, time's up.
With this issue.
Thank you, Mark. So now for the Q&A. Anyone has any questions to Mark? Okay, no questions. So then I will ask a question.
That's fine.
I can ask a question. What's your business model?
It is yearly license payment.
And so your customers, I guess you have existing customers already. What type of customers are these?
There are two types of customers: middle and big enterprises, and middle and big companies and enterprise.
Okay, but can you give us some examples, like enterprise, for example?
Sure. we are not limited to any specific vertical. We are not limited to any specific geographical region. The only limitation for us is the size of the company, because obviously our solution costs something. It is directed to middle and bigger companies. For example, in Poland, we have the biggest private health company, LuxMed. We have a biggest private company health in Hungary. It is Regina Maria, and these are our two clients.
Sorry, like how long have you been working on the product, and what's the stage right now? Like I understood you have customers, so how many was the revenue? And how long have you been building the company, please?
Maybe if I can chip in. Yes, so the product actually, so we are actually a spin-off of a software house. I was helping run for 25 years, around that. So it's been quite actually a few years to develop that. Currently, we support all of the major platforms used in enterprises. So I'm talking about the Java, C#, Python, and JavaScript, both on the front end and back end. So basically, we cover like 98% of software used or produced in enterprises. But so the product is mature. It's used on production for those companies Mark said, and we have a few others in the pipeline as well. But basically, right now we are trying to scale the sales process and make it shorter. So currently we have around 10,000 MRR, but those are actually RR. So because we are selling the yearly subscriptions, but in MRR terms, it is that.
Understood. Thank you very much. I think time's up, so we're on to the next participant, which is Kirill from Monosnap. So Kirill, great to have you here.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. So whenever you're ready, please share your screen and I will start the timer.
Okay, hi guys, my name is Kirill. I am founder and CEO of Monosnap. This is a secure asset management service for enterprises like Shopify, Citrix, Stripe, and Calendly. We have 2 million users across the globe, most of them from United States. A lot of companies using it already. We know how to grab money from them. About the problem, huge companies trying to avoid using Google Drive, Dropbox, and Box because they believe it's not trusted for them. And because of that, they're switching to their own infrastructure based on AWS, Google Cloud, Azure, and something like that. So because files are under total control of the company, and it 10 times more cheaper than, for example, Google Drive. But here's a big problem. There's no easy way how to upload, share, organize, and manage files through this infrastructure, and it's really hard to onboard people inside it. Okay, solution. Monosnap is a combination of secure asset management service and viral productivity tool to cover needs of each department. Zero Trust solution allows uploading files directly from the app to customers' trusted storage, avoiding Monosnap servers. So like at the images below. Market is really big and growing. We help to save more than 65 hours early for each employee. Also secure updates and onboarding in a few clicks for the entire company. That's why Shopify companies love us very much. So about our model, we have a B2C to B spreading model. We infect companies with a free version of our product. Then we interact with probably seniors, managers, VPs, team leaders, and sell it and sell Monosnap inside the company. So we're doing the same stuff with a number of companies like Atlassian, ServiceTitan, Amazon, Facebook. About the traction, last year we earned more than $500,000. Boost our registration rates of new users across the companies, and starting to building the standalone prototype for Shopify and extend it to the rest of the Shopify this year. For the next year, we are planning to partnership with the Google, publishing through the Google Cloud Marketplace, create several sticky integration to boost our registration rates. About the advantages. We're not trying to beat AWS or Google Cloud. We are building our apps and infrastructure on top of that. And at the same hand, with the uploading and collaboration tool, we're trying to avoid all of our infrastructure to communicate directly to the
30 seconds left.
Infrastructure. So our team mostly contain ethical hackers, bug bounty hunters with a really huge IT experience. That's why I am skip at this slide. We're in the direct contact with a lot of big companies. We're searching for the $1.5 million to boost our sales model, our sales department, and buy out our angels investor stakes. So thank you.
Perfect timing. We're just running out of the time. Great. Questions to Kirill?
Yeah, so Kirill, it's a great presentation. Thank you. Can you share a bit about the usage? Yeah, every day, how many people use it? How many hours? How do you see the numbers so far?
About the numbers, probably I can tell you about it, but you can ask for your portfolio companies already using MoneySnap. I prepared for this question. About the product, in a single view, it's a simple screenshot tool, which helps to generate a lot of videos, screenshots, and upload files, any kind of files directly to your cloud storage. So the simple usage for the quality assurance, support teams, designers, product managers. So they click someone, snap someone, record someone, and send to the secure storage and share it with one single click. So probably, yep, you can find out users across your companies, and yep.
That's pretty
cool,
impressive.
Cool, really cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's really cool. And do these companies pay for a service or just use this like a screenshot
no,
service?
most of these companies not paying yet, but we already earned $500,000 with several huge companies like Shopify, Citrix, and many more. And yeah, that's why we're seeking some money for boost our sales team, because these companies already using it. We should do contact with them somehow and sell more advanced product. So yeah.
And could you please elaborate? Was you able to convert any screenshot users to paid users, and how's the process work?
Yeah, sure. They're starting to use MoneySnap. We have several paid tiers with a 1 or 2 free period, and once the period ends smoothly, we ask the people to share our product across their company to grab more free trial period, and this is how a company infected with the MoneySnap. And once we find out that someone from senior level, VPs or team leaders start using MoneySnap, we know it. We simply contact with them through LinkedIn or Gmail or probably push notification to present them the paid version and tell more about how they can secure MoneySnap and secure their infrastructure.
Time's up, unfortunately, but great questions. And thanks very much, Kirill, for the presentation. I think we're all impressed with your research that you've done on your portfolio companies.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. So the next one that I see here is Michael from InsightCat. Michael, do you want to share your screen? Michael, can you hear us? You're on mute. You're still on mute, but now we can see your screen, at least. Okay, now I think you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. Perfect. So if you're ready, I'm starting the timer and you can start your pitch.
Sure. So I'll try to be short as we have only 3 minutes. So hello, everyone. We are InsightCat, a full-stack monitoring platform. We help companies to avoid downtime and prevent technology disasters, and doing it very fast. We do it for a reason that IT downtime is extremely, extremely expensive. We have a lot of numbers from Gartner research, which shows us that 98% of companies stated that they experience downtimes. And we're talking about mid-sized businesses, not even the biggest ones, which cost them a lot of money, hundreds of thousands of dollars. There are some cases companies have additional problems with bad publicity, loss of business opportunities, etc., as a collateral damage of a downtime. In last year, companies spent more than $20 billion on monitoring systems, a huge market, not the new market, and still we see a lot of problems that even the biggest companies experience still now. And we're going to solve it. We're going to solve it by implementing UI into monitoring systems and implementing a good UI that works with a lot of data and changing the approach completely. We are not just observing and looking what's wrong and what possibly can go wrong. We prevent the next downtime by predicting it. We have a very strong AI developed at our own team, which allows to oversee whole infrastructure of the customer, including applications, including logs, including every small aspect, infrastructure, application, whatever, and we can predict the next downtime. With our full stack approach, we enhance the cybersecurity of the companies because it's very important for cybersecurity to see and to get any update on anomalies or things happen within infrastructure. And of course, we provide a lot of other things. That's more or less the solution. The market we're approaching is a huge market. It's kind of outdated numbers because we don't have the recent research which is inspired by the pandemic, but it was 20+ billion, probably 23 or 24. Still no full data available. The market is growing terrifically because a lot of businesses went online and a lot of businesses need to be stable because today being stable in the online business is a key differentiator, and one downtime can just harm your business in a very serious way. Well, we have competition. Competition is tough, but we have a lot of advantages when we can stand out from the competitors, especially again the AI. We actually able to prevent the problems. We can provide some features.
30 seconds.
Truly help the business to fight all of these things. Well, some traction. We have customers already, paying customers from different segments, different sizes. So even one of the startups that presenting today, not in this group, but the other group, is a paying customer. Nice. And we able to fetch the customers from our biggest competitors, and we have an experienced team with some unicorns in history.
Great.
For the 3 minutes, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Michael. Perfect timing. And now on to the questions.
Hey, you said that the main differentiation is basically the price and the user friendliness, if I understood correctly. So could you elaborate a little bit on that, like why your customers are buying the tool? Just because it's affordable, or like what's the main USP?
The affordability and easy to use is one of the decision factors when companies start trying us, but the buying factor is different. We solve the actual business problem of downtime, and they see that our AI works good, and they see that it actually prevents problems. And when they do see this, they convert from pilot to paying customers. That's the real differentiator here.
I've got a question to that though. Like, if you're offering better product than the competition, why do you charge less for it?
This was exactly my concept.
I didn't say that we charge less. I said that we're much more affordable because we have a much more flexible business model. One of the biggest problems in the monitoring markets is the pricing. Pricing is quite unclear, and usually you can't manage. I work as a tech lead for more than 15 years, and usually you can't expect how much you're going to pay into monitoring this year. If you have heterogeneous environments with clouds and data centers and stuff, it becomes more complicated. In our case, it's much more affordable because you are able to plan it. But I never said it's cheaper.
Okay, so how many customers do you have, and what's the revenue traction right now?
We started sales like a couple of months ago. Started on small market, which is not the US currently. We're going to the US next month. We have 15 customers right now. With all the deals and contracts, something 50K MRR, something like this, maybe a little bit less.
Okay, guys, the time is over for questions. Thank you very much. Thank you, Michael, for the presentation. And now the next presenter is Philip. So Philip.
Yeah, hello there. Hello there.
Okay. Hi.
Okay.
Do you want to share a screen and?
Yeah, of course. Just 1 second. Okay, can you see it?
Nope. Still no.
But yeah, I'm trying, like, because I accessed from a different computer, and it worked on Mac. It doesn't work.
Okay, so I can try to display your presentation if you want. Should we try that?
Maybe we can postpone it for 5 minutes and ask someone to present.
Well, I can. I have the presentation here, so if you want, I mean, I can.
Okay. Thank you.
That's your most active one, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So shall I start?
Yes, please.
Okay, so basically, like, I will start from a few questions. So currently, web developers, facing lots of difficulties when creating web applications. They need to choose a proper technology stack. They need to connect hosting. They need to connect GitHub. They need to have some template or some generator to create a skeleton of the web application. Then they need to connect everything together. So, and FlatLogic solves this everything for web developers. So we can go on to the next slide, please. We create a single platform. On this slide, you may see, as my colleagues previously mentioned, like the software engineering resources are quite scarce and limited. So that's why we need to save time in development. So next slide, please. We go directly to our solution. So the solution is FlatLogic. With FlatLogic, you can choose a technology stack, for example, like a React, Angular, Vue.js for the front end, different backends like Laravel or Node.js, and different databases like Postgre and MySQL. And FlatLogic will create a completely ready web application for you in just a few seconds, based on the database schema. So in our platform, you can define a database schema with relations between entities, for example, for e-commerce, there would be, I don't know, orders, products, categories, and so on. And our platform is going to create a web application for you. Next slide, please. Next slide. Yeah, that's a comparison between our platform and traditional and low-code, no-code. So the difference between FlatLogic and no-code is that we give access to the code. So we push all the code to the user's repository. User may change the code, may write the code, completely work with the code, but our agent, FlatLogic bot, writes code directly to the repository and pushes changes there. So basically, that's it. Like, we launched the alpha version in September 2021. So yeah, we have, next slide, please. Next slide. I will talk about traction. Next slide. Next. Yeah. So we had, yeah, previous one. So we had 34,000 of 34,000 of users on our website. They converted to almost 5,000 free users, which converted to 60 paid users, and those 60 paid users created us $50,000 of revenue, mostly from B2B clients, because we charge a small fee for B2C and bigger fee for B2B projects. We have our users base constantly grows by 10% per week, and we have 100,000 website monthly users. So
all right,
that's it. Thank you.
Up. Perfect. Thank you very much for our.
Yeah, sorry for not being able, because I have different PCs, and
that's
it was
all right.
really crazy. Yeah.
That's all right. We have backups just for this reason. So
thank you.
Managed to save you on this one. So, guys, any questions?
Yeah, like you say, it's already been like 6.5 thousand application created.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Could you tell us a little bit, like, what's the segmentation of the apps? What kind of customers, what kind of apps they are building on your?
They are mostly starting projects with these applications. They are different CRUD, if you are familiar with the term, create, read, update, delete. So they're creating these applications and use as a skeleton. So it's a perfect tool to create this database-driven applications. So They are any kind of them. For example, some CRM management, CRM admin panel, or CMS, or e-commerce admin panel, and so on and so on.
And the type of customers that used.
We have two types of B2Cs, like small customers are individual developers who purchase in this small small license, around $100 to $200. And we have large companies, not large companies, but businesses coming to us and paying us a setup fee to build, to set up the system for them.
Yeah, and out of those 6.5 thousand, like how many of them are active and every day used?
It's not it's not a subscription-based system, so there is no continuous use at the moment. So they mostly come to the platform to generate initial application, then to add some features, and then they go away. And we don't have enough information yet to say enough. Yeah.
So you don't know if they use it or if they just thrown it away.
No. We know, but that's enough. Not enough time passed since the launch to tell.
Okay, I got it.
Exactly, what happens.
All right, time is up. So thank you very much for the presentation. Thank you for the great questions. So the next presenter that we have is Lev from Huntley. I don't know, Lev, are you here? Or do you hear us? There is. I'm being told that there is a comment in the comment section. Let me check it. Yes, as a viewer. So can you please ask for share the audio and video? There is a button on the top right which you should have access to. If you see that. You see it? Hopefully, you have the access right to do that. Philip, I think you can, drop from the video. Thank you very much.
Okay,
thank you.
No problem.
Lev, any status on your end? All right. So while we're waiting for Lev to no button. Okay, I'll ask my team to please give you right. While we're waiting, I wanted to understand if you guys are just throwing in a different topic now for the VCs. So how do you, because I've actually just been in another conference yesterday, and all the VCs are currently in this more like doom and gloom environment. I just wanted to ask you guys what you think about this. How do you see it in your own sort of deal flow? What's the current setup? Yeah, go ahead, Premysl, if you wanted to say something.
No, I just wanted that it's not true for us, as if you invest very early, there has been and there will always be a big difference between a company starting to develop a product or just starting to having first customers and a company having 50K, 100K MRR. So there will always be on any kind of market this big difference between a very early stage company and kind of mid-stage company. So we are pretty much happy still investing, and all our companies are doing pretty much well.
That's for sure.
So for very early stages, I think we are pretty much untouched, and we see only a difference for our first fund companies that are raising Series B. Then the multiples are shrinking, but there is a very nice movement of I would say a new aggressive VCs that just raised new funds, and they desperately want good deals, so they are probably able to give more favorable terms than the old-fashioned VCs. They are just being in this doomed atmosphere because they see the results of their previous funds. so I think this is a very nice opportunity for the later stage VCs that just raise new funds to put their
100%. I mean, I fully agree with that. I think what's the interesting thing, what I've kind of started noticing lately is that, even some of the VCs that were more focusing on growth, sort of refocusing on metrics that were not heard about before, such as, revenue to raise ratio or sort of burn ratio, where you're comparing the net new MRR versus the money burned. So these are some of the metrics. Also sales efficiency, CAC payback ratio. These are some of the metrics that are, becoming focused on. It's interesting because we've been actually focused on these metrics from day one. So it's like actually great to see that other people.
Likewise from our side. So like us in this Central Eastern Europe are much more conservative than the Western guys. So I think this area of the world is not as touched as the Western investors.
What do you think on because I mean, it's interesting. I'm always wondering personally on this that, I mean, of course, public markets are down, right? But how does that actually affect us, right? Because eventually, I mean, once you raise the fund as a VC, you're not really tied to the public multiples, only in the sense that, you will try to exit at some point, right? And at that point, you will be affected, right? But until then, I mean, you have probably like 4 or 5 years, right?
Yeah,
exactly. What's going to happen in 4 or 5 years? So.
Definitely, yeah, definitely. But you still need to calculate your future exits using the conservative multiples instead of the crazy 50 ARR, 100 times ARRs. Like you cannot just base your investments on predicting or expecting those exits. So this is the only thing you can do. Like say like 5 to 10. 5 to 10 is the conservative way. So you say, okay, so if we exit at 5 to 10 multiple based on the market size, okay, so here is the size of the opportunity and here is the risk, and then just intuition whether it's worth it or not.
Yeah, it's interesting because I actually still hear about VCs that invest at 40x ARR. So that,
Also in Israel, we still see those deals, but in the US it's slowing down a bit. There's still a lot of money out. So
exactly, like the VCs that just raised, I think like they can afford to invest at the last year valuations, basically.
Yeah, I wonder what's going to happen with some of the more recent unicorns. I mean, I heard stories where companies became unicorns at like a 200x ARR multiple. Yeah, and eventually, I mean, you're raising like 100, 150, but then you're burning like 5, 10 per month. So
yeah, I think that happened multiple times in the CEE as well. Like we've seen, like 1, 2, 3 unicorns over last couple of months, and I think some of them will be struggling while raising the next round.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so. I'm not sure what's happening with Lev. Lev, can you give us some vital signs? Should we wait for you, or?
It might be the Internet Explorer or like browser problem that it works on Chrome actually, then not on Safari.
That's yeah, maybe, I don't know. I'm not really hearing from Lev, so let me just quickly ask my team what's the status. Let's maybe wait for like 2 more minutes, and then we can sort of see where we are with Lev. In the meantime, I wanted to ask if you guys are actually considering going to any of the other conferences. I mean, summer is obviously that, but what is some of the, because I mean, for me, it was an interesting experience going to SaaStr, after such a long closed up. Everybody was like super happy. I mean, it was basically like a celebration of life. So
yeah. And so how was the SaaStr like
very interesting. I mean, it's it's the first time it was organized in Barcelona. So previously it was in Paris, and like I said, everyone I think was super happy. There's still a lot of precautions, so people did a lot of COVID tests, and like it was half open air, so you don't. I mean, COVID is still kind of there, Obviously, it's not, that we have like other issues to worry about, unfortunately. But COVID is still there. I mean, But I'm wondering, like, what are some of the events that you guys are excited about, like in the near future? Is there anything that you consider attending?
I think the conferences are generally back. I mean, coming back from Latitude a couple of weeks back, I mean, it seems like everyone's back to business, let's say, in terms of traveling for conferences. So I think that Slash this year might be exceptional.
Exactly. This is where I'm going as well. Like an exceptional conference like Slash this year. I think this will be pretty big. Like same for Web Summit probably, but it has been big like before. But Slash might be good. Like I used to be at like I went to Podim in Slovenia.
Oh yeah.
It was pretty much the same period as you described about the Barcelona. So like enjoying life, enjoying being together. So it was pretty intense party actually.
Podim is a great event. I really like Podim.
Yeah.
All right, so maybe just last call for Lev. And on the last call, he's here. Amazing. Great timing, Lev. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Sorry for
Amazing.
the inconvenience. It was.
It's all right. It happens to the best of us. Okay, so can you share your presentation, or should I share it for you?
Yeah, if you could share it for me, that would be grand.
Of course, yes. Let me do just that. All right. Can you guys see it? I'll try to make it a little bit bigger. So
yeah, so this is the old one. Let me actually share my new one. I'm not sure why you still have the old one.
Okay.
That's okay. Anyway, before we start, let me give you a bit of a background on myself. So I was one of the first sales guys that company called Sum and Substance hired. They did KYC. They are still doing KYC and mainly focusing on that. I grew them a team of 25 salespeople who generated about $500,000 MRR just from inbound leads. This is when I was leaving. Now I honestly have no idea what they're doing, but I left Sum and Substance specifically because I understood that there is like a huge problem in terms of in compliance specifically, where there are no efficient tools to do transaction monitoring, fraud prevention, and risk analytics. And this is exactly what Huntley does. So essentially, we relied on a problem that there is a huge annual cost to doing compliance, specifically because of the labor that is associated with it, mainly manual labor, and performed by humans on a daily basis through Excel sheets and all the other instruments that are very outdated now. So there is a lot of payment card fraud, suspicious transactions.
Okay, so is this part of the pitch already?
Yeah,
I start the timer. Okay, perfect.
You can see my presentation, right?
Yes, we can see it now.
Awesome.
Yes.
So payment card fraud is the large problem. There are especially when they happen at such a fast pace, there is no way human could possibly track something like this. And on top of that, there are more than 2 trillion euro worth of suspicious transactions coming from UK alone. Like, imagine what's happening in Germany, in France, in other parts of Europe, in US. There's a huge sum of money that is underaccounted, and this is why banks and other payment institutions suffer huge fines year after year. So to give you an example, a Swedbank, like a Swedish huge bank that operates in Baltics and Nordic countries, they got fined in 2020. They got fined 350 million euros for not having efficient transaction monitoring tools. So we launched 1.5 years ago with a closed beta for our most trusted clients. We saw a dramatic decline in their day-to-day costs for compliance, up to 60%, depending on whatever the client was doing. And essentially, if you look at the compliance expenses in general, they consist of like personal costs, software costs, data management. We just bundle it all together and slice 60% cost of it by like adding our small margin to licensing of our product. So the product itself consists of compliance dashboard, IML screening, case management system, real-time monitoring, statistics, analytics, and then risk factors, which could be pretty easily configured by a person with no technical knowledge whatsoever. We work on a very simple business model where we have our monthly or annual subscription, and then in that subscription we include certain amount of alerts that our system would generate, and once a client runs out of those alerts, they would be charged on a pay-as-you-go basis. Generally, a median subscription costs about $2,500, and it could go a month, and it could go higher if a client has larger operations. So at
30
this
seconds.
point, thank you. At this point in time, we have already onboarded our product is working already. We have onboarded our first clients. We were doing 10 grand a month in January. Now we are generating about 50, and we are expecting to grow to 100,000 by the end of this year. So we are now in Q2. We would like to have our first investment round closed by the end of Q3, if that's possible.
Time is up.
And yeah,
Thank
this
you,
is
Lev.
us. Myself, Dmitro, and Sergey. They're more technical. I'm from the sales side, from the administrative side.
Perfect. Any questions to Lev?
And what is your target client?
So we currently primarily work with banks, payment service providers as our first client base, but we also can support gambling and betting companies, forex companies, and we are also exploring. We have a pilot product now with one of the mobility providers to explore maybe customer analytics with them.
All right. Any other questions?
So I understand that you're a transaction monitoring service ultimately. So how do you differ versus the other providers of this kind of service?
So there's not much to differ with. Our main, I guess, competitive advantage is we try to encompass all the tools that there could be needed for the compliance when, for example, other service providers are focusing just on very niche things, and it creates a lot of hurdle for the users of those platforms. To give you an idea, there is a company called Sion. They closed a Series B investment round, about 94 million. They do similar things that we do, but they don't do counterparty screening, which is actually mandatory by European IML directives.
Sion is actually a Hungarian company, so we know them quite well. All right, time's up. Thanks very much for your presentation.
Yeah, I'm terribly sorry it's in such a format, but I'm happy to talk to you over email.
It's all right. It's all right. Thanks very much, Lev. And now I will ask all the jury members to go to their calendars and click the Mentimeter link at the bottom. There's a session which says link to voting. You have a voting link there, and I'll shortly display the results of the vote if you have all casted your votes. I think there are like 3 votes already. So let me know if everyone has voted. All right. I think did everyone vote? Can you, okay. So there is a situation here that we think we haven't encountered before. Let me just quickly share the voting results. So we have a tie between FlatLogic and MonoSwap. I'm not sure what to do in this situation, so I'll ask my team. But so the sort of excitement still goes on. But I'm just actually hearing that basically because there is a tie, both companies will go to the final. So congratulations to both of them. And see you at the final pitch. So FlatLogic and MonoSnap, you both progressed. Thank you very much for your time, and also thank you very much for the jury to casting their votes and basically asking smart questions. So thanks all, and see you soon at the grand final.
Yeah, thanks, Martin.
Thanks everyone.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thanks. Bye.